Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the start of the 2025 600 jar opener challenge. Let's get into it. If you're new to the 600 jar opener challenge, this is our third annual. So I started this back in 2023. In 2022, I sold 481 jar openers, and in 2023, I knew that I needed to restock. So my plan was to make at least 500. I ended up making 600, and it was really productive for me, as well as made a really good content video. So I told myself I'm going to do that every year. One, to replenish the stock that was sold, and two, so that it takes off some of the stress throughout the year of making jar openers constantly. Instead of constantly making jar openers throughout the year, I set aside February as my jar opener month, and every day I'm working on jar openers. That is the goal. The goal is to replenish the stock from last year, as well as increase the amount of patterns. I have plenty of jar opener quantity. We did an inventory video back early January, end of December, and I have plenty quantity to get me through the year. However, I need more variety. I'm thinking that this batch here, I don't know the exact count of different patterns, but I think it's about 200, and we already have 100. So that will give us 300 different patterns. We'll count at the end of this video and see what the actual number is. You can go ahead and put your guesses down below. Last year in 2024, I sold 638 jar openers. So making 600 jar openers does not replenish our stock. So I'm hoping that I can actually make 750. That's my actual goal. If I get the 600 jar openers done and that's it, that's fantastic. That is the bare minimum what needs to be completed this month. However, if I get the 750 done, that is even better. Right now, our hiccup with the 750 is that I do not have enough tags and I do not have enough shelf liner. I only had enough shelf liner for 600. So I've got the additional 150 cut right here. They're ready to go. And I have ordered additional tags. I don't know how many tags I have right now. I keep my tags in this little container, and they come from over the pond. They come from, I believe, France is where she's located. So I went ahead and already placed that order. My last order was 400 tags. So I think this is around 300 is my guess. So we are going to work and get as many of them done as possible. If we get to the point where we have to wait on the tags, I'll just work on the next set of jar openers and get it to the point of needing a tag. So we will cross that bridge when we get there. The order has already been placed, and I am going to make a trip at some point during this video, during the month, to the store to get some more shelf liner so that we can possibly make 750. So the system for organization and being productive that I'm going to use this year, the past 2 years, I've tried different systems and different ways to keep on top because I'm not working on all 600 at a time. I love assembly line. I love knowing what's needed to be done and getting that done. The hard part with the jar openers is that you're constantly switching between the walking foot and the regular foot. So what I've done is I have figured out what steps require each foot, and I've broken it down that there are 3 sections worth of steps. So the first day is using the walking foot, the second day is using the regular foot, and the third day is using the walking foot. So that being said, I did different calculations of 600 jar openers and whether I should do 6 bags of 100, 12 bags of 50, 10 bags of 60, or 8 bags of 75. And in that, I calculated how many days it would take me to complete each one if I'm trying to get it done within 28 days, and how long each bag, that count, would take. So I think I found the sweet spot. I have 8 bags with 75 each. With the 28 days of the month, if there's 8 bags, I should be completing each bag in 3.5 days. So we're going to pare that down to 3 days. I want to complete every bag in 3 days. So day 1 would be A1, right? So A1, we're going to work on bag A. We're going to get steps 1 done. All the steps that require that walking foot. And then the next day would be A2, so switching to the other foot. If I have extra time, like on a weekend day, then my goal would be to do 2 bags at one time. So let's say that's A1 and B1 because those are the same steps. If I did A1, A2, it would take me a little longer because I'm changing feet. So that is my idea. And in that, Doing 8 bags on 3 days would be 24 days. And I'm estimating that each one of these bags is going to take me 10 hours of work. So if we can complete this in 24 days, then to complete 750, so that'd be 2 additional bags. The 2 additional bags would take roughly 6 more days. So that would get us to 30 days. So that's 2 days over how many are allowed in February, right? Because February is only 28 this year. So I don't know if we will get all 750 done within this month. Maybe we'll get 675, right? Like 1 additional bag. I'm not sure, but I think I've set myself up for the most success. So like I said, each one of these bags, so we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we have them all prepped. If you want to know how I prepped all these, I have a prep video that I posted on February 1st. And if you want to see the day-by-day updates, I also posted those on Instagram. I'm trying to be better about posting on my other socials, right, and doing the short form videos. So one of my goals during this challenge was to post every single day. Obviously, this is the cumulative video of everything. Okay, I think I've explained, oh, if you want to learn how to make a jar opener yourself, I have a couple different options for you. I have a tutorial linked down below, as well as a link to my digital pattern that you can buy and make it yourself. And I also have, well, this will already happen after, but I am hosting a Galentine's event in February for a group class that's open to anyone. There's 16 seats available. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope they all sell out, and we are going to be making a Valentine's jar opener together. If you want to do a private lesson or a private class with a couple friends, I do have links down below under my consulting mentorship, and you can book one of the time slots, and then we can make whatever product you want to make together. I have all of my patterns linked in my Etsy shop. So it could be a jar opener, it could be a fabric wine bag, whatever patterns that I have, we can do any of those together. And so that is a way that you can get a private lesson one-on-one with me, or you could have a couple friends invited in the lesson. If you're going to split the cost with your friends, go ahead and handle the money on your end. Just go ahead and purchase one time slot from me. So anyways, I am super excited. I think we are all prepped. I think we have everything that we need. Today is February 1st, and I am hoping to get bags A1 and B1 done today. That's my goal. So let's get into it. Day 1 update. So we did finish step A1 and B1. All of the ones that were directional that I messed up and should not have been in these 2 bags, I did get them to the same step. So step 1 has been completed for these ones, and I just put them in the directional bag. It took me about 20 minutes for the first step, and then 30 minutes on the other one. I did this on my live, so I'll have that link down below. And then the next step took about an hour and a half, and then or an hour and a half plus 20 minutes, and then about an hour and a half. So total was about 4 hours for both of these. So day 1, 4 hours. February 2nd update time. So bags B through H, I was able to get step 1A done. So that is just pinning. I used every single clip and pin that I have. I did not get as much done on Sunday as I wanted to. Hopefully on Monday I will be able to get more done. Hopefully be able to sew half, if not all of them. And then I was able to get 10 additional rolls of shelf liner, shockingly all from the same store. I was not expecting that. So anyways, I will give you another update in another day. Day 3 update time. So I went ahead and bags C and D have been completed, steps 1, B, and C. So that means that step 1 is complete for our first 4 bags. That puts us 1 day ahead of schedule. I would like to do the same thing tomorrow. So on the 4th, get bags E and F, and then on the 5th, G and H, done with step 1. That will keep us ahead of schedule, which will be really great. So it took about 3 hours and 10 minutes today, so I'm hoping to have that amount of time. I mean, even if I only get bag E F1 done and then F1, like I'll still stay a bag ahead, but like I have a chance to get further ahead. So that is the goal. That is where we're at. Day 4 update time. So bag E has steps 1, B, and C completed. So that means that we have the first step completed on bags A, B, C, D, and E. We are still 1 bag ahead of schedule, which is really good. I wish I would have had more time to work on today on the 4th, right? But I ran out of time because I needed to work on the video for today. So that was the DIY Valentine's video. So I'll go ahead and I'll have that link down below if you're interested. Day 4 also marks the end of, well, almost the end of our first roll of thread. Now this was not a brand new thread. I did start this thread last year at the end of the year. So you know, it was pretty fresh, pretty new. Probably 20 jar openers were used with this because this was probably from the batch that I did back in December. Day 5 update time. So I have been keeping track and I wrote up here what day we should be on if we completed 1 letter, 1 step each day. So today being the 5th would have been E1. We completed E1 yesterday and we got 2 bags done today. So we are now officially 2 days ahead of schedule, which is amazing. That means that tomorrow on the 6th, we have our last bag needing step 1 done. I still have not gotten the tags. So as we go into step 2 and we need to add tags in, I'm going to use what I have and try to go through as many as possible. If I end up not having enough tags and the tags haven't been delivered, so I put the tag on one side. So what I'll do is I'll just sew 3 of the sides and just leave 1 side open, because then I can still work on trimming and, you know, work on getting those steps done. So tomorrow, the 6th, will be the last day with our walking foot for step 1, and we are going to change to a regular foot for all of step 2, and then we'll be back to the walking foot for the final step. So a fun little update for you guys. I'm having flashbacks to last year. So much fun. Okay, so like this kept popping up yesterday when I was working on the jar openers, and now it's popping up again. I did, you know, take everything out, clean it, do all of that preventative maintenance. Last year the issue was that like the plate cover was bent and there was nothing that I could do to fix it. Like they had to fix it. So yay! I'm gonna be Googling to see if I can buy a new plate cover for myself and not have to go take it to be repaired. Yeah, so great fun. Okie dokie, so I give up. This is how many I've gotten through in the past 20 minutes, which is pathetic. This is so slow. This is taking forever. Like, I can't even get across one of them. Like, it'll do the thing halfway. Like, this is the same thing that happened last year. So I went ahead and I ordered the, I lost the names of all these. These are called like 2 different things, but they're the face plate covers, right? And then a bobbin case, because I looked at the invoice from last year when I paid the sewing shop to fix it, and those are the things that they replaced. So I ordered all 3 things. They'll be coming on Sunday. So today is Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, assuming I don't get it in the morning on Sunday. So we have 3 days that we are not going to be not productive. So I do have the machine that I bought last year when this happened, and this disappoints me so much because I love this machine. This machine is amazing. I love my SE600. That one, it does what it does, right? It's a sewing machine. But I'm also going to be missing out on all of these stitches. Like in April when I do my end of the year recap on like the next year of having my sewing machine, I'm losing out on all these stitches counting towards my millions of stitches. So it's really frustrating, but this is more frustrating and I'm gonna not be productive. So this guy is getting put away until Sunday. Okay, so this one was bunching up a ton too, so I only got through like 2 of them. So this is real fun. So I'm gonna try yet another machine. So this is machine number 3. I didn't think it was gonna work, but my brother walking foot actually does fit on here. And I did a test trial because I don't really know what all these buttons mean. And this seems to be the right stitch length. So now I gotta load this up with the thread and the bobbin that I want. And we're gonna try again. Okay, next update. It has now been an hour. I'm not even halfway done with this step. This has made me so angry. Like, being inefficient and like not productive just makes my blood boil. So yeah, I need to be done for right now. I do want to come back to this again today. So let me go do something else for a while, and then I will come back and try to recompose myself and try to finish this work for today. But yeah, so far we're an hour in and we are not even halfway done for today. And this should have taken, this whole section here should have been done in an hour. What do you do when you're sad? You make some chocolate chip cookies. This recipe is absolutely amazing. I make my own brown sugar, and I use 3 different kinds of chocolate chips. And I make the batter, and then I put them in a cookie scoop and put them on the tray and freeze them before I bake them. So they're at least frozen overnight. These ones have been frozen and vacuum sealed for a couple weeks now. But yeah, then I can have cookies whenever I want them. Okay, here's another update. I know, a lot of them today. I sat down for another 10 minutes and got this portion done. So now we need to cut these apart and sew the other side. At this rate, I'm hoping that I will get the other side done in 20-25 minutes. Good Lord, sigh of relief. It is 35 minutes later. This sewing step of tonight is done. Thank you for your service. I'm going to put the sewing machines away, apologize to them for my mean thoughts and words that I spoke out loud. Hopefully tomorrow we can have a better day. I'm so glad that all of the sewing is done. I am not done with the jar openers for today. I have so far put about an hour 35 in, and I still have about 50 minutes, I would say, 20 minutes of trimming all of the seal, like the threads, and then putting the pieces together. So that can happen on the couch. I am done with my sewing room. Today was awful. I was so mad, so angry, but we did not lose our lead, which I'm so happy. So that means that once I finish this tonight, obviously it will have taken way longer than it needed to, about 3 hours to complete half the work that we did yesterday. But it will be done, and we will continue with our 2-day lead. I'll give you an update on how long it actually takes me once I finish. Day 7 update. Bag A2 has been completed. All of the work that we did on the sewing machine did work, and I do believe it's fixed and we are in the clear now. So on the 8th, our goal is to get as many bags as possible done. Like I said, we are limited on the tags. However, I did see that the tags have shipped. So we are going to try and get as many bags of these possible done today. Okay, so I got batch B sewn up with tags inside, but we are down to 8 tags, so I will not be able to use tags for the rest of them. So like I said, I'm just gonna try and sew around. I mean, I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna just sew around and leave the whole side open, and I'll go back when I do get the tags and I'll throw them in. So at least I can get part of it done, and then I can trim the other sides, so I can still work on things. It's just a little tricky not having the tags, and then we'll have to kind of double back. Update time. So day 8, bags B and C have step 2A completed. We're kind of at a tricky point right now because I only had enough tags for A and B. So from C on, we can sew 3 sides and trim, but we're gonna have to wait for the tags to come. They have shipped, we just have to wait for them to arrive. So what I'll do is I'll continue on with sewing 3 sides and trimming till we get done with all that we have, and then we'll circle back to A and then work our way up with A and B. If we get back to C and it's time to add the tag and turn and we don't have the tags, then what we'll do is we'll move on to the additional 750. So we need to cut up the extra shelf liner, and then we can start working on these ones. That's the backup plan. Day 9 update time. So bags B and C were trimmed, so that took about an hour, and then bag A was turned, poked, and pinned, and so that took about an hour 30, so 2 hours and 30 minutes for Sunday the 9th. This last step is just to go ahead and sew. So on the 10th, my goal is to turn bag B. Bag B and bag A have the tags, so I'll go ahead and get the turning and pinning, so step 2 or 3A done, so that on the 11th and 12th we can go ahead and sew these guys up, and we'll have our first batch that are completely done. Day 10 update time. So today we got bag B almost done. Bag B and bag A just need to be top stitched, and then they are done. So that is going to be our goal on the 11th, to at least get one bag done. On the 12th, get the other bag done. So that way we will go into the halfway mark with 150 jar openers completed. That is the goal. And the order has shipped. It has not crossed over the water yet for our tags. So what we will be doing in the meantime is just like how these guys here. So these do not have a tag. So they are stitched on 3 sides, and they are trimmed on 2 of the sides. So they need the tag added in, stitch it down, and then trim on the one side. We'll do that with all of the, so if there's 8, the 5 remaining bags. If we still have more time after that, then we'll go on to the 150. Day 11 update time. We have our first bag complete. Bag A is done. I'll go ahead and pull it out and we can see all the patterns so far. Bag A took 6 hours and 50 minutes. Bag A has a really good variety here. So I kind of sorted them. We've got florals along the top. Then we have like the hobbies, animal prints, and then seasonal ones. So I'll go through a little slower. I love how much variety. We have a couple duplicates. So there's like some right here, some right here, a couple right here. And then a couple more right there. But I would say a really good variety for bag 1. I'm so glad that we finally have some done. Our next day is going to be bag B, top stitching as well. So we will have another reveal of patterns. Day 12 update time. Bag B is now completed, which means we have 2 bags completed, 150 jar openers completed. This last step took an hour 45. In total, bag B took 7 hours and 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take all of these out and then sort them, and we will see what patterns there are. Here are all of bag B's patterns. I think this is such a good variety. So we have the different colors and patterns here, and then we have the hobbies, and then we have the other, I don't even know what category you call this, but then animal prints, a fruit one, some florals, and then we have holiday. There's a lot of like wintertime Christmas patterns. We've got some Halloween patterns in this one, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. So between bags A and B, I think we have a really good variety so far. Once we get bag C done, that should be every pattern represented because of how we separated them at the beginning. As of right now, the tags are in America. They are in New York, so I'm really hoping that we get them this weekend so that we can start making some great progress. I am going to move on to just these other bags here, trying to do the most I can. Also, we went through another thing of thread. There's like such a little bit. I was playing chicken with the last couple jar openers over here. But yeah, so that is the second roll of thread that we have gone through. Day 13 update. We worked on bag D. We have the 3 sides stitched and 2 sides trimmed. We are waiting for the tag. That is what's missing. So we spent an hour 20 sewing, 45 minutes trimming, and I did a plus here because just like with bag C, there's going to be additional time added onto each of those steps because they are not completed. It took a total of 2 hours and 5 minutes today. Tomorrow we're going to move on to bag E. Day 14 update. Happy Valentine's Day and happy halfway point. We are now officially halfway through the calendar. We worked on bag E, step 2A and B. I got these most of the way done. Again, we're waiting on the tags. And the only one I didn't do was this pattern right here because it is kind of directional. Like you can see, it's a little different. So I'm waiting to find this pattern in the other bags, and I'm going to do them all together so they're exactly the same. It took an hour and a half today. Today is the 15th. I haven't started working yet, but I have some really great news. So I went to go check the mailbox and look what was in it. Oh my God. So this morning I checked at like 4 a.m. to see where the package was, and it was in Pennsylvania. And I was like, oh, wonderful. Like maybe I'll get it on Sunday or Monday and then I can start working on the tags. I did not expect to check my mail today and to have these guys. I am so excited. So bags C, D, and E are the majority of the way done, right? Like I just need to, where's the side with the, okay, so see, this is the stitching. So the tag goes right here. So I just need to stitch like, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches right here to stitch down the tag. And then I need to trim this one side. So that's what I need to do for these 3 bags. So we will be adding to steps 2A and B, like the times. That's why I wrote them with pluses. But this should not take a super long time. I'm thinking like all 3 bags will take the same amount of time like that I would do a single bag. You get what I'm saying? Like the same amount of work I've been putting in. That's the goal. But then Sunday, I'm going to have a ton of turning to do, but that is a very, very good problem. Day 15 update. Bags C, D, and E all have tags in them now. It took about 2 hours and 30 minutes, so step 2 is complete for all of these guys, and I just added the times on to our previous times, so for the sewing and the trimming. So now all of these guys can be turned and top stitched so we can wrap these ones up. Day 16 update. Bags C and D have step 3A completed on both of them. So the last step that they need is for them to be top stitched. This took about 4 hours and 10 minutes. It took an hour 40 for the first bag and 2 hours 30 for the second. Day 17 update. Bag E 3A has been completed. This took about 2 hours of time. I went ahead and checked off all of the steps that we've completed in the time frame, like our timeline, right? And so we're missing F2, G2, and H2, but we've completed A3 and B3. So we're about a day behind right now. My goal is to try and get these, F, G, and H step 2 completed as fast as possible, but we will see how it goes. Day 18 update. Bag F has step 2 completed and then part of step 3. I ran out of the good pins that I like, so I had to start using the clips. So that means that we are going to move on to top stitching some of the bags so that I can get the pins back. We spent 2 hours sewing, 35 minutes trimming, and an hour 45 turning and pinning. So yeah, that was a total of 4 hours and 20 minutes. I also wanted to mention on day 18, we ended up using up another spool of thread. So far that is 2 spools that we've gone through. We're still working on this spool and this spool. Day 19 update. Bag C has been completed. This took about 2 hours. Oh, let me total up the total time for bag C, and I'm also going to show you all of the patterns that we've got. So the math on bag C is that it took a total of 475 minutes, and that's 7 hours and 55 minutes. We have 225 jar openers done, and the first 2 bags took a little less time. And here are all of the patterns. I think there is quite a good variety in this bag. So up here we have a lot of the florals, and then we have the more hobby section. These are seasonal, and then just patterns, and then we have dogs and cats and animals, and then these guys over here are the ones that are directional, but it's up to interpretation. So I've got to keep these ones separate, so as we're going through the bags I do them all in the same manner, so that way when they're sitting on the table they all face the same direction. Day 20 update. Bag D has been completed. This took about 2 hours, and drum roll please, this marks 300 jar openers completed. That means we are halfway. I am gonna talk about these other bags in a second here. After that, I'm gonna show you all of the patterns that we have. But it took 2 hours, and the whole bag took about 9 hours and 30 minutes. So we've got bags. Which ones are these? These are E and F, and then we've got G and H. So E and F have tags, right? They just need to be top stitched. So I am gonna push those until Monday and Tuesday, right? And then bags G and H, I am gonna work on those on the 21st. That's my goal, is to get these guys tagged up so that then on Sunday I can work on trimming and turning, so that then it could be 24, 25, 26, 27. That's my thoughts, because on the 22nd, what my plan is, a little ambitious here, but take one of the piles of the 75, right? There's 2 piles of 75, so 150, and try and complete an entire bag in one day. I don't know if I can do this or not. It's a bit overwhelming. Like, we've got almost 7 hours, 7.5, 7:55, 9:30. So I'm guessing it's going to take me 8 hours, right? That's my guesstimate. 8 hours to complete 75 of them in one shot. That's a lot of time. So I don't know, that's my goal, because then if we go on this route, then possibly on the 28th I can start working on the last 75, right? Which would mean that I could get it partway done. And if any of these ones, if I'm able to complete them faster, that'd be great. I don't know, maybe I could get even more work done on Sunday. I don't know, that's just my thought. The hard part is, though, on Saturday is when I usually film my Tuesday and Thursday video. And if I do 8 hours of just that, ignore my sweater on the floor here. If I do 8 hours of just that, I don't know if I'll have time to do anything else unless I make that my Tuesday video. I don't know. Like, lots of things in my head. And do I just like not post on Thursday and then I just post on Saturday, which will be the 1st of March, the compilation, this video that you're watching right now? I don't know. That kind of takes the pressure off of not recording for my Tuesday and Thursday, which means I could spend more time just on the jar openers, but then I also have other things I need to do over the weekend. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Here is bag D all laid out. We've got quite the variety again today. So up here we have more of the seasonal prints, and then we have fruits, only one flower print this time, some other prints, and then we have animals, cats, hobbies, and then dogs. And then these guys here are the directionals that are open for interpretation. So I've got to keep these separate so that all of the bags, the patterns that are like this, all match, so that when they're laid out on the table, they all go together. So this is bag D. Day 21 update. Bags G and H both have tags. So on Sunday, these guys will be trimmed and turned. This took about 1.5 hours each, so 3 hours total today. Day 22 update. Happy 3-year anniversary to So Sustainable. Today we completed bonus 1 from start to finish. It took 6 hours and 50 minutes. I will be posting the entire time lapse so you can see the entire thing. This is the breakdown, and then I'm going to show you all of the patterns. Okay, here are all of the patterns laid out. So this top row here, we have like all of our holiday prints. We had a lot of duplicates today. The next row is what I call the hobby section. The next row is animals, starting with dogs and cats. There's actually only one dog print. And then the last row is just like the patterns and then the florals and the fruits. This one was the one I was most excited about. I thought this would look the nicest. It kind of reminds me of like a bridesmaid gown, but or like an evening gown. But it got kind of messed up because I had to unpick it so many times. So yeah, this one actually makes me mad. But anyways, that is all of the patterns. Day 23 update. Bags G and H both are step two completed, so they just need to be top stitched. This means this took 4 hours and 30 minutes. For step 2 on all of the 600 jar opener, it took 9 calendar days, 18 hours and 30 minutes total. And so that means that these 2 bags, that one is completed. These 2 bags. So of these 4 bags that we have left to work on, these all need to be top stitched. So 2, 4, 6, 8 hours more work to be done. And then we have the 1 stack of the bonus jar openers done. So this is 75. And then we have 1 more stack that needs to be done. So that's another 8 hours. So we have about 16 hours worth of work left to do. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Can we do it? Day 24 update. Bag E has now been completed. This marks 450 jar openers done. It took 1 hour 45 to finish out. Total time was 475 minutes, which is 7 hours and 55 total for bag E, which is the same as C. Let me show you the patterns. Here is bag E, all completed. There is a good variety here. We're going to start on the top here. We have all of the holiday prints. There is a lot of Christmas and winter this round. And then we have the Halloween and the other holidays. The third line here, we've got what I call the hobby section. A couple animal prints, no dogs or cats this round. Just regular patterns. Some florals, quite a few florals this time. And then we have the directional that are open to interpretation. So there is bag E. Day 25 update. This took about 2 hours to complete bag F. Total time on bag F was 505 minutes, so that's about 8 hours and 25 minutes. Now we have 525 jar openers done. Let me go ahead and show you all the patterns. Here is bag F. I think we have a good variety in this bag. I think this is one of the ones that has had the least amount of duplicates. We've got some duplicate here, here, and here. But other than that, there's a pretty good variety. Over here we have the directional that are open to interpretation. Up here we have the hobby section. And then the florals, dogs and cats, animals, very small holiday collection in this one food jar opener, and then just general patterns. So this was the most interesting bag we've had in a while. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. It is 7:43 p.m. and we have accomplished it. This is 600 jar openers completed. We are not done yet though. I'm still going to top stitch this batch, and then we are still going to make the additional 75. We are almost done with another spool of thread. We have 10 left of 675. So let's see how long this lasts. Okay, with 7 left, we ran out of our next spool. This spool is not quite right, but I think it'll work fine. It looks like it'll blend pretty well. You can barely see it, so that's good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this, but I do need to get some more of this thread. We've gone through so many spools. There's still quite a bit left on the spool. I went ahead and finished these guys. I think the thread looks fine. You can barely see it. That's pretty much my criteria. There's a couple numbers worth of the Gutermann because they're labeled like the 203, 205, right? So there's a little bit of a range of colors that I use. So I think it looks fine. I don't think you can see the thread, which is what I try to do. So anyways, another batch done. Day 26 update. Bags H and G are completed. They are all top stitched. That brings us to a total of 675 jar openers done in 3 hours and 30 minutes. We did the 600. We completed it. I am so proud of myself. We do have the additional 75 to work on, and we have 2 days to complete it, so I think we will hit the goal. Here is bag G. We've got all of the animal prints along the top, and then dogs and cats are the second row. The third row is the holiday prints or seasonal. Then we have the directional that are open to interpretation, some just general patterns, fruits, flowers, and the hobby section. So this is bag G. Here is bag H. We've got a lot of holiday prints along the top here, holiday and seasonal. Then we've got a big chunk of florals. We've got the directional that are open to interpretation. Then we have like the hobbies and the regular patterns, and then just a couple of the animal prints. So this is bag H. Working on the final 75. Got this pack here. Those are done. These ones. We just used up the last of the white bobbins. There's only these ones left. All of these got used. So this is my normal stash. So I'll just use one of these, probably one of these guys. Day 27 update. The bonus section 2, all of steps 1 and 2 are completed. This one turned out pretty crazy. I ended up using 2 blacks, a white, a tan, and whatever color we started with. So this is what the bobbins are looking like now. I ended up filling up another white bobbin, and we'll use these guys when we top stitch, and I think we'll use them up. It took 4 hours and 5 minutes today, and then I'm hoping tomorrow will be less than 4 hours. Okay, so we're gonna need another spool of thread. We have about 30 jar openers left, and get this. Okay, so here is the spool that I've been using, and this came from one of these Gutermann packs, and I have 4 packs, right? So I'm like, okay, I need another one, and it's this one right here, and I'm like, this looks a little green. And so then I go and I pull it. Where did I put the other one? Here. I go and I pull it from the other one. Like, these do not look the same to me. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but this looks like green, and then this looks brown. And then here's them in another light. Here's them in another light. I don't know. Do these look the same? I don't think that they look the same. I think the one on the left looks green, and the one on the right looks brown. So I'm going to use that one. And that's a wrap on the final jar opener. Let's take a look at the patterns. Day 28 update. We have finished the final batch. This is bonus bag 2. Spent about 3 hours today. 7 hours and 5 minutes on this bag. Let me go ahead and show you all of the patterns. So this top row, we have the animal prints. So that it starts with the dogs, and then we have the cats. The other animal prints are down here. We've got florals on the next row, and then the seasonal and the holiday prints, then just the generic prints. Then we have like the hobby section, and then the animal print. And why is this guy separate? This guy is separate because he is going to be part of a giveaway. How do you enter the giveaway? There are 3 steps. Step 1, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Step 2, go ahead and purchase one of my digital patterns. 3 of them are $1, 1 of them is $5. Take your pick. If you've already purchased one, that's perfectly fine. Third step, leave a 5-star review sometime between March 1st and March 15th. On the 16th, all of the names will be put into a pile and a winner will be drawn, and that winner will get this free jar opener. If you would not like to enter the giveaway and you still want to qualify for a jar opener, another route you can take is go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and follow on Instagram and come see me at one of my craft shows. I always have a freebie bin, and if you show me on your phone that you're subscribed and following, you get to pick something out of the freebie bin. And I actually have a ton of leftover Harry Potter jar openers that are in the freebie bin. Okay, this looks so cool. It's like, welcome to my jar opener empire. You know what I mean? This looks so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all of the papers now so I can pull the jar openers a little closer. I'm still getting some shots with all of the jar openers, and then we are gonna start organizing them by pattern, and I will do a time lapse. Do you ever wonder what 600 jar openers looks like? Can somebody hold 600 jar openers in one go? I wonder the same thing. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so these piles here, trying to get all the piles closer together. Okay, can I hold all of these jar openers at one time? I don't think so.
Okay, here is everything put into piles. So now I need to go ahead and lay them out so we can see all the patterns. But right now I just have them sorted into their categories. Like this one here is all dogs. And then I have them sub-sorted. Like these are all like the paw print ones.
Here is all 750 laid out. This is crazy. This takes up my entire desk, and this desk is humongous, right? Okay, let's go through the patterns. So we've got the holiday prints here, fall and Halloween, and then the earlier holidays, right? New Year's, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July. This starts the animals. Here are the other animals. So we got like all the bees together, the flying animals, the barnyard animals. This pile here is dogs. This pile here is cats. I am very concerned about the cats. I do not think that there is enough quantity or variety. As you can see here, how many more dog prints there are. These two piles are florals, and you can tell that they are sorted by color. Then we have foods, which again, I think I need more. And then just the general patterns. So this I would go Roy G. Biv and make sure I have every color represented. I believe, so I know I'm missing orange. Red, I'm missing red. So red, orange, Roy, Y, yellow, G, green, B, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay, so red, orange, red and orange is what I'm missing. Then we've got 2 rows of hobbies. We've got knitting, sewing, sewing, and then these are just general patterns. So we've got some, what are these called? Anchors. 2 like outdoorsy patterns, then some like cowboy patterns, and then just some general patterns. So that is everything. I will be doing a live next weekend, not as in tomorrow, but next weekend, because I need to get going. I need to go ahead and put all of the new patterns and the old patterns together and then pack them up. We got to load the car up because I need to be at Italy tomorrow. I just found out on Tuesday that I'm going to be a vendor there. So it's very last minute. Let me go ahead and put all of the jar openers together and we will see what that looks like. But if you want to see each individual pattern shown on the screen, I will do that during the live. Counted all of the patterns, not the quantity. We know the quantity is 750, but all of the different patterns. And there are 204 new patterns, but they're not necessarily new because there could be duplicates in the old stash. So this old stash has 427 and 102 patterns. So I'm hoping that we do have 300 patterns, and then the quantity is 427 plus 750. Here is all 1,000. They definitely do not fit on this table. This table is way too small. So we will be looking at all the patterns in the live next weekend, but this is what they look like. We definitely had a lot of cat patterns in the inventory already, which is really good. A lot of different food. There was actually an orange down here. So the only one I'm missing is red, which I have flames and I have like florals. So I need red and then more cat prints. And the final count. So what I did is as I was adding the like inventory, the back stock into this, I counted upwards, right? So I started at 204, and when there was a pattern that wasn't on the table, then I'd say 205. So I got up to 280. So we need 20 more patterns to hit 300, but we do have over 1,000.
we will be doing an analysis of all of the pros and cons and what worked, what didn't work. We'll talk about the patterns. We're going to do another video next week with a lot more information about all the jar openers. This video is already getting really long, so I want to wrap it up, and I will see you guys next week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.